miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Good evening, everybody. It's Mark Klein hanging out with you. Welcome to another Long Island Blues Warehouse, recorded always at the world-renowned EKO Studios, Deer Park, New York, the official studio of the Blues Warehouse. Tonight, we are talking to a musician that has spent the better part of his youth traveling on the road with his dad. He is a highly accomplished singer, songwriter, and drummer who has recorded and or toured with Sonny Rhodes, Joey Gilmore, Mark Naftalin, Charlie Musselwhite, Jimmy Vivino, and of course we cannot forget about, from the Paul Butterfield Blues Band, his father, Paul Butterfield. Tonight, we welcome on this stage this week's featured artist, the GABE Butterfield Band.
A two-train running, not one going my way. One runs at midnight, other just for a day, other just for a day, other just for a day. I sat down on the step. She said, come on in here, baby. My old man doesn't live. He just not live. My old man live. Well, I went. I was a catfish. Swimming in the big money. Have all you pretty women swimming after me, noodling after me, swimming after me. She shakes like a willow tree. The stranger, she's no good. She's alright with me. She's alright with me. She's alright with me. Hey! Oh, the girl's alright. Yeah, she's not a thing. Give me love.
This week's featured artist, the Gabe Butterfield Band. Gabe, nice to see you, my man. How are you? Let's pull that mic down, if you would, so we can hear you.
Oh, sorry about that.
Welcome to the Blues Warehouse. Let me begin by saying.
Thanks for having us.
How you doing? You all right?
Oh, yeah.
You, the bulk of these boys and yourself and your lovely wife drove down from Woodstock, New York.
Yes.
Not exactly a stone's throw away.
Few hours.
Couple of hours, but worth the trip, man. Like Dunkin' Donuts, I'd have to say.
Oh, yeah.
For me, to have you boys in here, I don't know about you guys.
Oh, having a good time.
It's only a 10-minute drive for me, though, so what do I know? It's great to have you in here. I want to start with some history, if I can, Gabe. Let's talk about your history growing up into the blues. We mentioned your well-known in the blues industry father, Paul Butterfield, the Paul Butterfield Blues Band. Paul Butterfield played at Woodstock in '69.
Yes.
You grew up into blues, being that your dad was an iconic figure, not back in those days, today, obviously. Let's talk about how, first of all, what'd you play first? You didn't start with the drums.
No, I started with piano.
You started with the piano.
Mm-hmm.
What was the influence to play the keys?
Just something I was into at the moment, and had a great teacher that lived down the street, and she ended up passing away, and we ended up moving, and just kind of went on to something else.
From there, you jumped into
Guitar
for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What was the influence to play the guitar?
Something new to try.
It's just something new to try.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when did you finally gravitate to the passion, otherwise known as the kit?
Well, and any teacher I've ever had, they've always said I had rhythm, and you know, I was always tapping on everything I could get my hands on. So, you know, when I was 12 years old, a godfather of mine bought me a drum kit, and that was it. So.
Who was that said godfather? Can we mention?
Friend of the family.
A musician?
No, just
okay,
a friend.
Okay, I thought you were going to say like Eric Clapton or something. that would have been cool to have heard. But let's talk about you being a little guy growing up into music. Obviously, your dad, a well-known blues guy, Paul Butterfield. How old were you when you saw what was going on with the music scene and started appreciating what your dad was doing musically in the house to get you to start looking to become a musician yourself?
Probably around 10.
You were about 10.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but music must have been happening in the house much earlier than that.
Oh, yeah, on the road, at the house, you know. But a lot of times backstage back then, kids would be running everywhere. So, you know, we were all just little freaks, just kind of, you know.
Taking over backstage.
That's right.
And the front stage, too, probably from time to time.
Sometimes, yep.
Now, so when you're touring on the road with your dad, are you like state to state, overseas? You doing it all?
Never been overseas. We had planned to, but
primarily around the country.
Yeah, what it was is that every time he came into town, if he was here for 2 or 3 weeks, scoop me up, and then we'd spend the time together, and that's how it was, you know, which was often every year basically.
Every year. And that's how it was until you started doing your own thing, I guess.
Right.
When did you start playing on your own in your own band? Do you remember like your first project musically?
High school.
You were like garage band type of thing?
Yeah, rock and roll.
And are you playing the circuit? You playing the circuit around your neighborhood type of thing?
Oh yeah.
Being underage, playing in bars.
Yeah, at that time I was living in Santa Cruz, California.
Okay.
And there's a place called the Catalyst, and several other clubs up in Ben Lomond, and there was Hemflings, and there was a lot of different places that constantly had music. So we were playing everywhere we could.
And then some, I'm sure. Very cool, my man. Great beginning for you. Great beginning. I say we put you boys back to work. Let's jump into another tune. We'll continue the Gabe Butterfield journey. What are we going to do next, Gabe?
Too Many Drivers.
You good to go?
Oh, yeah.
Right here on the Long Island Blues Warehouse, we are going to keep it moving with the Gabe Butterfield Band. Let's do it.
Baby, let me ride in your automobile. Yeah, I'm in love with I wanna drive by daytime, do the drive by night. You only need one driver, keep your car shining bright. Well, baby, let me ride in your automobile. You got a nice fancy car, too many drivers and you will. Wait a minute, fella. I said, wait a minute, baby, you can't do this to me. You say you got one driver, but I know you got two or three. Oh, baby, well, let me ride in your automobile. You got a nice shiny car, honey, too many drivers and you will. Oh, drive a while, Jimmy ever.
This is Lizzie from Woodstock, New York, and you're listening to the Long Island Blues Warehouse.
I was down in Louisiana, doing as I please. Now I'm here in Texas, got to work early. Oh boy, this poor boy a long way from home. Said if you from Louisiana, what you doing down here? I said I ain't from Texas, and I just don't care. Oh boy, this poor boy a long way from home. this boat don't ever land. I can stay out on this water long as any man. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This poor boy a long way from Now this boat come a rocking like a drunken man. I'm on the water and I'm going back to land. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This poor boy a long way from home.
Oh, yeah, this week's featured artist, the Gabe Butterfield Band. Nicely done, gentlemen. Nicely done, as always. Gabe, got a few degrees hotter in here since we started with you boys.
Oh, yeah.
We're heating up nicely in here, I got to say, man.
We get to lose some weight as well.
You ain't, if we could only bottle it. Well done, my man. I want to fast forward a little bit. You've done some cool things. You worked with Charlie Musselwhite, as we mentioned, and all these other great blues guys. The band director for the Conan O'Brien show, good friend of yours, Jimmy Vivino.
Yes.
Also a part of this project, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
When he's available.
Yeah, we're doing the Philly Folk Festival August 17th, and then with Rob at the Falcon on August 16th.
Very cool.
The night before, too. So there's going to be 2 harp players, and Jimmy is going to be a bigger band, but it's that's going to be a lot of fun.
How long you been working with Jimmy Vivino?
I've known him for almost 25 years.
You guys
I had Jimmy, I've known for a long time. We had a nucleus of this band, the Butterfield Band, back in the 90s. And we put, which was all original songs, which we're going to kind of bleed stuff into as well.
Excellent.
But we used to go down to a place called Downtime, which is not there anymore in New York City. And Jimmy Vivino had the Black Italians, which he just did something with. And, you know, ever since then, we've been kind of back and forth and friends, so.
He's going to be doing some dates with you over the summer, correct?
Oh, yeah, lots of them.
Other than the few things you just mentioned.
Oh, yeah, we'll probably do Black Potato Festival. You know, and there's a bunch of other stuff in the works, so.
A lot of cool stuff in the works.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of cool stuff in the works. You play festivals all over the place.
Yeah, if we can get them, definitely.
And you'll continue to do so, obviously. I know you're going to get some work as a result of this project you're doing here tonight with us, which I'm excited to be a part of and have you boys in here. Let's talk about studio stuff. Do you get in the studio much and record?
Yeah, I just did an album 2 years ago in July at Levin Helms with a guy who's a really good writer. His name's Chris Castle out of Ohio. And Garth Hudson was on it. Of all people, Tommy Ramone and Garth Hudson's wife, Maud.
No kidding.
And we were there for a week, and the album made the charts.
No kidding.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun.
What an interesting dynamic that must have made working with those guys.
Oh, yeah.
In the studio. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable, man. Just some great history, some great history. You got some great guys in the studio as well, which we're going to come back and chat with shortly.
The best.
Yeah, some serious, I don't like using the term all-star, but you got a serious all-star ensemble in here tonight, man. And these are your core nucleus guys, correct?
Well, yeah, I usually pick up hitchhikers when I'm driving.
Okay.
And I've just been kind of collecting things as we're going, and that's why.
Listen, whatever system you got that you're doing, it ain't broke, so don't fix it. Good system, it sounds like, man. You did good, man. You did real good landing these guys.
Love these guys.
Yeah, serious players. Let's jump into another tune, and then we'll come back and talk to some of these fine players. What are we doing next?
What are we doing this? Buried Alive in the Blues.
Blues Warehouse. Here we go.
in a landslide. Bad luck coming in from all sides. I got booked off of my usual ride. People, I'm buried in these blues. Sunday morning, everybody's in bed. I'm out on the street, talking out of my head. There's old brick walls, ain't heard a word I said. I'm buried alive in the blues. I'm buried alive. Buried alive in your own frustration. Buried alive in its worse than jail. Buried alive and there ain't no bail. Lord, it's a mean situation.
This week's featured artist, the Gabe Butterfield Band. The band, it continues to get hotter and hotter in here, gentlemen. Rob, I want to grab you for a second if I can, Mr. Rob Paparazzi, harp and lead vocals. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing okay. It's so great to be here.
It's my understanding that you have worked with some of these fellas here at EKO Studios in the past.
Yes.
On an outdoor concert of some sort.
Yeah, we did a festival down at Lookout Point.
Lookout
Point,
sure.
With Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Maybe it was about 1.5 years ago or something like that.
Let's talk about that for a second if we can. Good way to segue into that. You were the front singer for Blood, Sweat, and Tears for, what, about 8 or 9 years?
About more like 6.5 years, yeah.
All right. Very cool,
Yeah.
man. How'd you land that project?
David Clayton Thomas went back to Toronto, and the guys wanted to keep the band together, and I got a phone call.
Now, is he the guy that sang Spinning Wheel?
Oh yeah, he's on all the hits. You know,
He's on all the hits.
Made Me Very Happy and all that kind of stuff.
So he went back to Toronto.
Yeah.
And they looked to get you.
Well, they wanted they needed a singer because they wanted to keep the band going, and they brought Steve Katz back, who was the original guitar player, and they needed a front guy. And I said, I really don't know that music. I remember it, you know. And they said, well, why don't you give it a shot? And I did, and 6.5 years later, I was still doing it.
Very cool, man. Will you still do future things with them again? Or?
Yeah, I'm also out on the road sometimes with Steve Cropper and Blue Lou Marini with the original Blues Brothers.
The original Blues Brothers. You and I have a mutual friend that plays in that band. Great drummer. I was going to say Long Island guy, but he lives in Jersey these days. Mr. Lee Finkelstein.
Yeah, originally a Long Island guy. Lee Finkelstein.
Originally a Long Island guy.
Great drummer. He's been with us out on the road.
Founding member of that great Funk Philharmonic Long Island project.
That's the one, yeah.
And he's been working with you guys for a good number of years as well with the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, many years.
Great guy. Very cool, man. You've done some other interesting things over the years. You worked a little bit with B.B. King?
I opened for B.B. King in 1971 in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
No kidding.
My hometown, near my hometown.
Very first interview I ever did 19 years ago was with B.B. King.
Wow.
And I'll never play it for anybody because I was a nervous wreck. Another story for another
too,
time.
me too.
Dr. John?
Dr. John, I backed him up a little bit and did a couple of little projects with him, and he's always a blast to work with. Yeah.
A couple of the guys from the Funk Philharmonic, like Ozzy Melendez, worked with a fella you've also, I believe, done something with, Mr. Bruce Springsteen.
Mr. Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, worked with Bruce before he was Bruce. You know, I brought him up to my hometown. We did a couple of concerts together, and he tried to get me to go back down to Asbury Park and hit his blues jam every Tuesday at the Student Prince. And I said, it's a little far. I don't know. And then about 2 years later, I saw him on the cover of Time and Newsweek. And I said, I should have went to that blues jam. Yeah?
You know, it's funny you mention Asbury Park because I lived in Asbury Park for about 3 years when I was a kid. And I moved in on a Sunday night, and after I moved in, my two roommates said, oh, we got to go to this place around the corner. You ever heard of it? This place called the Stone Pony. And I was like, no, what is that? So we go. Great little place. The place holds about 400 people, and there were about 30 people in the place at 9 o'clock on a Sunday night. And who walks in but Bruce Springsteen with two other musicians, and they had a little power trio for an hour and a half on the stage to, like, nobody in the room. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is my first night in Jersey, of all things. So pretty cool, cool. Whitney Houston. Yeah. What'd you do with Whitney?
I played on her "My Love Is Your Love" record. She did a thing of I was made to love her, I was made to love him, and Lauryn Hill produced it and played some harmonica on that. It was cool.
No kidding.
Yeah.
What an unbelievable history, my man. Unbelievable history. What a great set of lungs on you. What a great job you do with the harp. A tremendous dynamic to this project.
Yeah, well,
how long you been working with Gabe?
I started out listening to his dad's records, and that's why I play harmonica today. So when Gabe called me up to
that
play
was the big
in this
influence
band,
for you.
I said I am there because this is why I play music, is because of this kind of thing. And Paul was the guy who introduced me to Chicago blues, and then from there I learned what it was about. So I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, well, it's a hell of a journey you've been on, man. And I look forward to seeing where that journey continues to carry you with this project and this ensemble.
Thank you.
Great job. Rob Paparazzi on harp and vocals. I thank you so much. Let me grab Pete Levin for a second, if I can, on the keys. Phil, pull that mic in front of him. How you doing, Pete?
I'm doing good.
It's good to see you again.
Thanks.
Starting to build a couple of frequent flyer miles with us here at the Blues Warehouse.
I think I'm getting to know the LIE.
You've got some interesting history yourself. You've worked with, as we mentioned in the past, with Paul Simon.
Paul, yes.
How'd you cross paths with Paul Simon?
This was in 1979. There were several people in the band that I knew at the time. That was his one-trick pony era. I think thinking backwards, that's maybe one of the best bands I ever played with, and a lot of them were my friends. My brother was playing bass, Steve Gadd, sure. Richard T., who's been my idol since Square One, Howard Johnson, the great horn player, Jesse Dixon. A lot of these people have passed away. It's a hell of a list, but great gospel singer from Chicago, and three ladies singing with him. Eric Gale was iconic band. So I was so proud to be a part of that. It was great.
I can only imagine. My God, I can only imagine. Annie Lennox.
Yep.
How'd you cross paths with Miss Annie?
Again, a lot of these contacts come, as they have said for Rob, it's not necessarily with the star. It's with producers or people in the band, people that they've worked with. And there's a gap in the orchestration, and somebody said, who do we know? And they'll say, well, why don't you call, what's his name?
A little bit of timing, I guess.
Get a ball guy in there.
Being at the right
make
place at the right time.
So yeah.
A ball guy that can actually play, which I think I guess it's safe to say you meet those requirements.
It helps.
Well done, well done. A fella I had an opportunity to work with not too long ago. I'm a huge fan of Mr. Joe Louis Walker.
It's wonderful, wonderful.
Same type of situation?
It was. I don't remember why he lost his keyboard player, but I was in town. I knew a couple of guys in the band. I got the call. It was wonderful. Joe Louis is brilliant. He's an amazing player.
Better than that, even.
Yes. So,
phenomenal player. I'm glad to hear that, my man. I'm glad to hear that. How did you cross paths with Mr. Gabe Butterfield?
I don't know. It's just some guy moved into Woodstock and said, I played the drums. No, it's like, in a way, I'm the last one to come into the band that way. I don't remember how it happened, actually, but I know all these guys, so, and it was they needed a piano player, especially if possible a bald piano player. So I get a lot of work from this.
Hey, listen, you know what? I mean, God bless, man. God bless. Another great timing situation. You make a great dynamic to the Nicky Armstrong thing we did not too long ago.
Thanks.
Great job with this project here. Another tremendous dynamic to this project.
This is great.
Everything you touch turns to gold in my eyes.
Oh.
I
This was already gold. I mean, with the music that we're doing from the Paul Butterfield history in that band, that's such a foundation for the blues. We all started listening to that, and it's the thrill for me with Paul, with Annie, so many of the people that I've ended up playing with. I admired their music, and suddenly, wow, I get to do a tour with them, or a record, or anything, or just hang out in a bar. It's really a treat.
Well, it's a great common thread that you hold with these other four guys on the stage, and I hope to see a lot more of you with this project and other things to come.
Thanks,
and Nicky Armstrong as well. So God bless Mr. Pete Levin on the keys. I thank you so much. Let's keep it moving, boys. Let's jump into another tune. We'll come back and talk to some of these other fine players. What are we doing next, fellas?
Lovin' Cup.
Lovin' Cup. Once again on the Blues Warehouse, we're going to keep it moving with this week's featured artist, the Gabe Butterfield Band.
Early in the morning when the sun comes up, you've been sitting and drinking from a loving cup. Won't you tell me somebody, what can I do? I want to drink from that loving cup too. Baby, I want to drink from that loving cup too. You don't comb your hair, baby, don't mend your clothes. What else you don't do, baby, nobody knows. Won't you tell me somebody, what can I do? I wanna drink from that loving cup too. Baby, I wanna drink from that loving cup too. You should be downtown working, making lots of money. Instead you're working out, baby, acting funny. Won't you tell me somebody, what can I do? I wanna drink from that loving cup too. Baby, I wanna drink from that loving cup too. taste. Now you're letting all that good thing go to waste. Won't you tell me somebody, what can I do? Well, I want to drink from that loving cup too. Baby, I want to drink from that loving cup too. Just a little taste. Don't let that good thing go to waste. Downtown making lots of money.
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, the Gabe Butterfield Band. Featured on that one, lead vocals, the bass player, Jim Curtin. How are you, Jim?
Doing great.
Well done, my man. Well done.
Thanks.
Does everybody in this band sing lead? Pete, do you sing lead?
He sings through his fingers. That's how I think.
He just said they won't let him. But man, what an unbelievable ensemble play! Everybody sings in this band. Just tremendous, man. Well done. Let's talk about some history with you. When did you start on the bass? Were you a young guy? Like in the womb?
No, I was junior high school. Played my first gig 8th grade.
8th grade. What made you decide bass was a direction you were going to head into in life?
There was a slot open in my big brother's band.
That's how that worked.
Yeah.
Did you grow into the passion quick?
Yeah, it was. We had moved to California, didn't have any friends. And bass became the best friend, you know.
You played bass. Let's fast forward a couple of years to a project a few people might know called the Orleans. The big song, Still the One. A couple other big hits they had. You were part of that band.
I was. I caught an era after they had made those hits, but I moved to Woodstock in '89.
It was '89 for you.
And I was at a Democratic convention, local, and some players were playing, and my name got passed around, and so I played another Democratic convention, and they had, let's see, Robbie Dupree and John Hall was on that, and John Sebastian was on that.
No kidding.
It was kind of a
Lovin' Spoonful
baptism into Woodstock. So after that, John asked me if I'd do the Orleans thing, and of course, Larry had to audition me. Larry Hoppin,
okay,
who, bless his heart, I still think of him.
How'd you get involved in GABE, the Gabe Butterfield project?
Gabe and I had played in another band, and we just kind of immediately had a good hookup in terms of time and rhythm.
Sure, sure.
And when that worked out really good, it's once you get a bond, a bass drum thing, it's like a a special thing. And he asked me to do this project with him, and I was in.
It didn't take much, did it? Very light twist of the old arm, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I hardly broke a sweat doing it.
Plus, he owed me money. It was.
All right. So it all worked out. It all worked out.
Yeah.
Well, holding down the bottom end real well. Tremendous addition. Great dynamic to this project. And look forward to seeing a lot more of you with these boys. Jim Curtin on the bass. I thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Let's grab Jimmy Eppard, if we can, on guitar and vocals, if he'll head up to one of those mics. How you doing, Jimmy?
I'm doing well.
It's good. You know, when you walked in, I'm saying to myself, why does this guy look familiar to me? Where have I seen this guy's face before?
I got one of those faces.
No, it wasn't in the post office. Like, that's what I thought you were going to say. You were an active member of a band called The Band. You toured with the band.
Very briefly, yeah.
You still had a run with them.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? If you're a college football player, like, what's that movie, Rudy? You remember the movie Rudy?
No.
There's a movie called Rudy about, what was the football team that the movie was based on? The Fighting Irish. The little 5'0" guy gets to play with these 6-foot guys.
Right on.
6'4", 6'8". He got to do one game. He dressed in one game, and he got to be in the books. That was my point.
Cool.
Who cares if it was 10 minutes or if it was 10 years?
Yeah.
You played with the band.
Yeah, yes, I did.
What time frame?
Well, let's see. It was in the 90s. Must have been around 98, I guess. Rick was held over at the time.
Rick Danko, of course.
In Japan, yeah. And they had to cancel most of their tour, and except for 10 shows. So they needed somebody to fill in. So I was basically Rick's voice, and I played rhythm guitar and sang the Crazy Chester verse in The Wait. So,
very cool.
and, you know, those guys were a huge influence on me and in my life. And being in the Woodstock area, you know, I've certainly seen them perform many, many times. And I always had great respect and love for their music.
Very nice, my man. You've done a lot of other cool things, but one thing that I'm intrigued with, Blondie.
Yeah, me and my two sons. I should mention my son Josh is the drummer with Coheed and Cambria, and my son Joe has a group called Three. And we were in the studio where Blondie was cutting their latest record, and the producer, who also did The Killers, I can't remember his name, but he said, "I need some male vocals on this." And said, "Well, we can do it." We did it in like an hour, and then he auto-tuned it all up so it sounded like girls anyway. It's hilarious.
All right, very cool, man.
But it was a lot of fun.
Hey, so you know what? Some nice contributions to some cool things. And,
Yeah, I played with Cyndi Lauper once, too.
As well, that's right. You did the Cyndi Lauper thing. How long did that last?
One gig.
All right, all right.
Almost an hour.
Almost a full hour.
Well, there was a long rehearsal, too.
Well, that made it all worthwhile then, huh?
Yeah, no. She was a lot
Very
of fun.
cool.
We had a
Jimmy
good-
Eppard, great job on guitar and vocals, my man.
Thank you.
I love what you're all about. Can't wait to see a lot more things you do in the future with this project and other things to come. So God bless. Jimmy Eppard, guitar and vocals. Thank you so much. Gabe, we got time for two more, my man.
All right.
Let's do another song. We'll do our goodbyes, and then you boys will play us out. What do we...
Get Out of My Life, Woman.
You good to go?
Oh, yeah.
Long Island Blues Warehouse, we are going to keep it moving with this week's featured artist, otherwise known as the Gabe Butterfield Band.
1, 2, 3. Get out of my life, woman. You don't love me no more. Get out of my life, woman. You don't love me no more. Get out of my life, woman. You don't love me no more. Get out of my eyes, teardrops. I got to see my way around. Get out of my eyes, teardrops. I got to see my way around. Get out of my eyes, teardrop. You know I got heartache by the pound. So move right
don't love me no more. Get out of my life, woman. You don't love me no more. Get out of my life, woman. You don't love me no more.
This week's featured artist, the Gabe Butterfield Band. Nicely done, fellas. Hey, Rob, speaking of mutual friends that you and I have, you spoke to a mutual friend of ours yesterday. He just called me today, New York City fella, Michael Packer.
Ah, yeah.
And Michael just asked me to pass a message along to a few of the boys on this stage, which I told them I would probably do during the show towards the end, so I'm going to do it now. So Pete Levin on the keys, Jim Curtin, bass and vocals, and Jimmy Eppard, guitar and vocals. You three guys, apparently, August 4th this year, 2013, at BB King's, are going to be inducted in the New York Blues Hall of Fame. How about that? Wow. Also, so am I, and the Blues Warehouse show of ours that you guys are doing tonight. So, and he also wants to put in the Gabe Butterfield Band. Gabe, you and your dad were inducted last year in the Hall of Fame, in the Blues Hall of Fame, but he wants to do the Gabe Butterfield Band as well. So, Rob, are you in it already?
Yeah, last year I got
Last year you were inducted as well. So he wants to put the band in, you three guys individually, and me and the Long Island Blues Warehouse this August.
Congratulations.
Pretty cool, and I thank you, and congratulations to you three as well. So
It's gonna
pretty
be a
cool.
hell of an after party.
I told them I would mention that in the show, and congratulations to you guys. So, yeah, I'm excited for all of us on that. Very cool. That having been said, you boys are going to play us out. Before you do, let's do some goodbyes. Let's say goodbye on the keys and vocals, Mr. Pete Levin. Thank you so much again, Pete. We want to thank Rob Paparazzi, harp and vocals. Thank you again, Rob. Back there on the bass, Mr. Jim Curtin. Thank you so much, Jim. Bass and vocals. On guitar and vocals, Jimmy Eppard. Thank you again. And last but certainly not least, we got to say thank you to Mr. Gabe Butterfield, drums and vocals. Gabe, thank you so much. It was an honor having you boys in here tonight to do what you do and have a great contribution to our Blues Warehouse program, so I thank you so much for that. You boys are going to play us out. Before you do, I'm Mark Klein. Every week, this is where you're going to find us at liblues.com. Thank you for tuning in. And always remember to go to EKO Studios at ekoproductions.com. Again, the official studio of the Long Island Blues Warehouse. Gabe, you boys are going to play us out. What are we finishing up with?
Walking by myself.
You good to go? Yeah. We say goodbye to this week's featured artist. Thank you again, fellas. The Gabe Butterfield Band.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm walking by myself. I hope you understand. I just want to be your loving man. Oh, yeah. You know I love you. Oh, I love you. All my heart and soul. I wouldn't mistreat you, baby, for my waiting goal. Now, wait a minute. You know I love you. You know it's true. Got to give you every bit of my love. What more can I do? Well, I'm walking by myself. Hope you understand. You see, I just want to be your loving man. Can I play something now for you? You know I love you. You know it's true. I give you every bit of my love. What more can I do? Well, I'm walking by myself. I